that there's a crew in town. The head hillbillies are making their rounds. Small town whispers loud and clear. The sheriff shot the judge in his chambers chair.
Sheriff got a secret he won't keep. Judge shot dead in his disbelief. A lot of people have some stories to tell. Dark pass away, get the sound of a shotgun shell.
All the secrets spill on down. Voices loud in this old town. From the courthouse to the ground. Rumors fly and they can't be bound.
Neighbors hide behind their blinds. Whisper tales of troubled minds. Skeletons covering the mountainside. A treacherous reality in the pines.
Winter reveals the hidden lies. Moonlight couldn't mask the cries. Shadows caught in sunlit skies. There's no cover, no disguise. All the secrets spill on down. Voices loud in this old town. From the courthouse to the ground. Rumors fly and they can't be
Winter reveals the hidden lie. Moonlight could mask their cries. Shadows caught in sunlit skies. There's no cover, no disguise.
all the secrets spill on down. Voices loud in this old town. From the courthouse to the ground. Rumors fly and they can't be bound.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. If you have not been here before, where have you been? Welcome to our Hillbilly house. My name is Elizabeth, and this is Hillbilly Crime. Zelmy is still not feeling very good. She's at home doing her thing, trying to get better. Sunday, she was still testing positive for COVID. So y'all please keep her in your prayers. She will feel better soon. And she'll be back on with us. We've already got a bunch of people in here. Come on in, come on in. I'm going to try to keep my light off. We've got enough light, I think, for this tonight. So it gives me migraine sometimes, y'all. All right. Yeah, DC 28. I'm starting to not care about this kiss cam thing. The only reason I bring that up, we're not going to watch the kiss cam, the old Coldplay kiss cam. That is kind of everywhere. We all kind of know, we've all seen it. But we have our own kind of kiss cam thing that is kind of related. And anybody that is from this area of Letcher County, Kentucky, you probably know what I'm talking about. All right. So, another courthouse scandal? Are you joking? Like, how in the world do we find ourselves here after all of the mess that has been going on? Okay, so I hate to even be bringing this up tonight, for real, y'all, but here we go yet once again. But it's another scandal that's tied to someone in a position of trust, someone that the community looked up to. And let me be real, this one hurts. This one hurts a little more than usual, but because it involves someone who most, or I don't know about most, but how some have it involves someone who's been seen for years as a moral figure, if I should say it that way. Someone who once preached the word of God, who had folks believing he was guided by faith and values. And I know, there ain't none of us perfect. Listen, I screw up every single day. Every day I do something stupid. I do something that I shouldn't do. Well, I say things maybe that I shouldn't say. It's not so much that I do things that I shouldn't do. It's I probably say things that I shouldn't say. Not we're all gonna screw up, But when we screw up, the important part is to say, man, I own it. I screwed up. I'm so sorry. But we don't see that. We don't see that happen. We don't see people take a moral stand in it. I just don't never see it. But now, word's gotten around that something happened at this person's workplace. An inappropriate relationship with a subordinate. Sound familiar? And out of respect for the family, I'm not going to name him because it'll come out. It'll come out. It's already out. But, I don't think that his spouse signed up for this. So, although I'm not naming any names right now, what I will say is this. When people in leadership use their influence behind closed doors, it matters. Because it's not just personal, it's public, okay? The fallout isn't just reputations. It's about trust. It's about responsibility. It's about what happens when folks we believed in turn out to be doing things that we never expected them to do, right? So, what I've heard, allegedly, is that the spouse went to the boss and said, I want her gone. And the boss said, well, if she goes, he has to go too. And allegedly, that was fine. So I don't know if he was allowed to resign. I don't know if he was allowed to transfer. I don't know. I don't know what the status of that is. I don't know what the status of that is. But here's where we take a step back and look at the bigger picture. When someone who holds authority, whether in government, healthcare, law enforcement, or even the pulpit, when they start crossing lines behind the scenes, it reflects something much deeper than one mistake. It reflects a culture that's gotten real comfortable with cover-ups, a culture where power often goes unchecked. Now, I have to ask, will we hear the truth? Will there be any accountability? Or will this just get swept under the rug like so many other things around here? Because I don't know about you, but I don't want to be represented by people who only do right when somebody's watching. We deserve more than that. And the people should be given the chance to decide for themselves whether this is the kind of leadership that they want. Right? All right, off to segment 2. What's worse than a scandal itself is the silence around it. I don't mean the silence from like families. I'm talking about the silence from folks who work in the workplace, people who know what's going on. The ones turning a blind eye, not because they're innocent, but because they're scared that if one skeleton falls out of that closet, the whole damn graveyard's gonna follow. This is the same culture we've been calling out since day one. It's a keep your mouth shut or suffer the consequences kind of place. A place where the preacher gets on Facebook let's see, where the preacher gets on Facebook not to comfort the community after the most shocking event in our county's history, right? Like we, I mean, that's what you would think. But he did it to scold people for speaking out on it. Let's listen to Mr. Michael Clark. Some of you who are new and have not seen this, this was posted right after Mickey shot Kevin.
To get on here for a second. Been a real rough night and day since yesterday. You all, I'm sure, have known and seen nationwide now what all happened. Multiple news agencies continue to reach out to me. I'm not going to be able to comment to them or anything like that, but I have spoken to the sheriff's wife and daughter and talked to her a couple of times today. And, you just really need to be praying and quit gossiping and spreading rumors, because you're going to be really surprised when absolutely nothing that you've been posting and saying is true or accurate. And I have permission from the family to say that. Mental illness is real. People go through hard things that we don't know what they're going through. Bottom line, one of my best, closest, dearest friends, Judge Mullins, was killed yesterday, and one of my best, closest friends, Sheriff Mickey Steins, is locked up and charged with murder. The motive and everything will come out, and everyone will eventually know why. And it's not going to be nothing the reason that not you, but many are spreading and talking and hurting children. That the judge has a wife and children that's hurting.
Now, I have to stop that right there, because I got the feeling like, I'm from this area. So, it's you have to kind of balance that, what you say, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Let's see. Let me rethink this. Well, so after he posted this video, there was a great backlash to it. A lot of comments were around accusing him of very similar conduct that we see going on down there. And so this video did not stay up very long. It was only up for like a day or two, and then he took it down real quick. And I just found it very odd that instead of him getting on here and trying to comfort the community and bring us together, it wasn't. This is what he came out with.
The sheriff has a wife and a child who I've spoke to twice today who are truly hurting.
Like, I don't know who he's talking to here. I know that right after it happened, there were a lot of rumors. The rumor mill was going a little bit wild, and there was a lot of speculation that Mickey, or that the judge, had been messing with Mickey's daughter, which that has pretty much been debunked, I guess. They've come out and said that that's not true. He said that it wasn't true, and we've heard through several other avenues, I guess is the best way to say it, that that's not supposed to be true. But sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire. And so I think some of the speculation right after it happened, we're kind of revisiting some of that now. So I don't know. I just didn't really know who he was trying to scold, if not everybody. Like, they didn't want nobody talking about this. It seemed like they were trying to control the narrative on the shooting and everything around it. I have been very critical, and I've said repeatedly that after the Ben Fields took that plea bargain and all of that came out, which most people didn't even know about that situation until the shooting happened. So that was kept kind of quiet too, as quiet as they could keep it. It was, but I don't know, y'all. I just, who are you talking to, buddy?
I love you all. I love Letcher County. I'm there every day. I work there. I've got a church there. My heart is there. And what this community needs is prayers,
Yes.
kindness, and mercy.
Yes.
And if you do not know and don't have firsthand knowledge of something, why in the world would you get on there spreading lies and rumors? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Well, I think a lot of people just talk. You go to the grocery store and people are talking at the grocery store about stuff. You go to the gas station and the gas attendant is talking to somebody. The community is going to discuss the fact, this was the biggest event in Letcher County history. I think it was. I don't think that there's ever been a sheriff that walked into a courthouse and blew away the judge. I don't think that's ever happened in our history of America. And maybe back in the 1800s or something, but we sure don't know about it.
And you ought to be ashamed, because there's a little girl of the sheriff's that's devastated by these rumors. And there's also little girls who lost a father.
But you know whose fault that is? Mickey Steins is the one who decided is the one who made the decision to do what he did. And whatever the judge, we are responsible for our, let's see, how do I say this? We are responsible for our own actions. And the fact that somebody has children, do you think anybody cared 1 second about Sabrina Adkins and her children? Do you think for a second that anybody cared 1 hot minute about any of the victims of the Letcher County Courthouse? And you take that as you want. You pick and choose which victim of what crime or of what system or of what department or agency. I mean, it can just keep going on and on and on and on and on. There's a whole lot of them out there.
And we need to think about that. Continue to pray for everyone that was involved. Thank God for the first responders that was there within minutes. Thank God for protecting me, who was.
Now, he mentioned the first responders, which absolutely thank you, first responders. I think the neon fire and rescue is like the only one working right now. I don't know about then, but now I think the neon one is the only one working. I don't know about that. That might not be right, but I know that they're picking up a whole lot of areas, and I know it's really, really hard. It's got to be really, really hard on them. So I just wanted to kind of give them a shout out real fast. Let's see. I forgot what else I was going to say. I'll think of it here in a minute.
With the sheriff all day yesterday and the judge, and thank God, by the grace of God, that I'm alive. And just pray for our community for healing.
Yeah, we saw him take off running out of the courthouse awful fast, didn't we? Oh my goodness. He about knocked over that girl in the red or in the green dress. And we're going to watch some of that video again here in just a second, because we're going to look at Mickey, some of Mickey's stuff. But we watch Mickey walk out of the courthouse on those videos. We watch him walk down after the shooting. We watch him walk down the sidewalk. The preacher man here takes off running down towards the funeral home in Jamie Hatton's office. And then when Mickey comes back up the sidewalk, you see the preacher man come back up his sidewalk. And you see him standing there looking right at Mickey. And you see Mickey turn, and they make eye contact. They see each other for just a hot second. And then, and Michael never says a word. You don't see the preacher man say anything. He just stands there. I guess it probably in shock. I mean, I would be in total shock too, you know. But then you see Mickey go back up and go back into the courthouse. This is almost over, so let's listen.
To come about. I love you all. God bless you all. And have a great day.
He really came across in that really not very good. Let's see. Get back to where I was at. My eyes ain't as good as what they used to be. Okay, so if you remembered that video, he said, I've got media networks calling me for a statement, but I won't be giving one. Like we were all supposed to follow his example and stay quiet too. But it backfired. Folks started calling him out for being part of the same machine that protected people like Ben Fields. And wouldn't you know it, that video came down real quick. Because here's the thing. Silence is complicity. And a whole lot of people are staying silent right now because they don't know the second they speak up, they might be next. Because just like the hyenas that were closing in on Mickey Steins before he snapped, everyone had their own agendas. Everyone had dirt on everyone, and now they're all trying to figure out how to protect themselves from the fallout. But it's not just about gossip or dirty little secrets. This is about life and death, y'all. This is life and death stuff that we're talking about. We've all heard the accusations. Jailhouse beatings that got moved around, custody situations that were weaponized, people being punished not for crimes, but for crossing the wrong people. And what happens when someone does try and speak up? Who do they go to? The local police? Some of them are part of it. And the others just turn their head. They know exactly what the others are doing, but they ain't about to call them out. They'll sit there and watch the train wreck. They'll just sit there and watch the show. You got any popcorn? The Commonwealth's attorney, look at the charges they've dropped or buried. The FBI, they're letting criminal prosecutors off easy. Scott Blair, ring a bell? Even federal judges hand down sentences like it's traffic court. Your own defense attorney might just be looking for the best deal for their own career. So I ask again, where do people like us turn? Because if the courts don't care and the state doesn't care, and even the federal government seems like it's looking the other way, then it's going to be up to us, the people who still do care, to keep the light shining. We built this show for that reason. Not because it's easy, not because it's safe, but because somebody has to. And we ain't done yet. We're only just getting started, baby. So now I am going to pull up. We're going to watch something else. Somebody sent me this. Let's see, where's it at? Right here. So this is a protest that was in Harlan County. So, but what caught my attention is the fact that, well, here, maybe I won't do that. What caught my attention, there was an article that Jennifer McDaniel wrote. Let me pull it back up. She wrote an article about this rally that they had in Harlan. And it was just the other day. And Ned Pillersdorf was there. I noticed Ned in the background. Oh, me right here. So let me pull up these pictures. Because a couple people sent me these videos and stuff of it. But they said that they never saw Ned in any of the video. So I don't think that there's any of him actually talking in the video. But we got the pictures from the article, and I'll read it. So let me pull this up here. Now, this guy here is the one who got arrested. And then I think, let me move this. Okay. Oh, okay. I don't know who these people are. Okay, but they did this really big rally in Harlan County, and I was very surprised to see Ned at this rally. So this is an article written by Jennifer McDaniels. Oh, let me get on Ned. And then here we hold these truths to be self-evident. I guess I don't know who any of these people are, by the way. If you guys do, let us know. Equality for all, not just the rich. And there's Ned. Okay, so I spotted him in the pictures, and that's the only way that I knew. Yeah, guys, I've kind of had like a lingering headache today, so I don't have my thing on because I get migraines usually when I do, so trying not to let it get any worse. So it's Harlan man arrested after reportedly pointing his pew-pew at Trump protesters. So this is only the intro of the story, she says, that comes out in its entirety this Wednesday by Jennifer McDaniels, Appalachian journalist. An arrest was made following Saturday's Kentucky Resist protest in Harlan after reports were made of a young man allegedly pointing a firearm near the Harlan Center where the anti-Trump rally had taken place. I didn't realize that. So they must have had dueling rallies in Harlan. Let's see. Some have stated the suspect had been taunting the peaceful protest participants when they gathered along a portion of the US 421 bypass near the Huddle House, which concluded their rallying. When the protesters later regrouped near the Harlan Center to pack up, that is when the suspect's alleged brandishing of a firearm happened. The Harlan Police Department responded to the scene and soon arrested Marcus Slusher, 18, of Harlan, on charges of second-degree terroristic threatening and menacing. According to an HPD report, officers arrived on scene after the department received a call that an individual was allegedly pointing a firearm from a vehicle near the Harlan Center. Following an investigation at the scene, Slusher was taken into custody and lodged into the Harlan County Detention Center. Chris Creech, a Harlan resident who helped organize the Kentucky Resist protest that was held on Saturday, July 19th, told the Tri-City News that his first reaction to Slusher reportedly brandishing a firearm was to protect those around him. Creech said he believed he was the first person Slusher pointed his weapon at and the first to react. I remember him, Slusher, looking at me as he pointed the pew-pew at me and said he was exercising his Second Amendment rights, Creech said. Then he was laughing as he pulled out of the parking lot while the others were ducking for cover. It was at that point that I managed to get the license plate of his truck. And then she says, grab a copy of the Tri-City News on Wednesday to read more about what protesters had to say after the scare. And the photos were obtained from Kentucky Resist Facebook page, she said. So I was just surprised to see Ned in the middle of all that. So if any of you are not aware, Ned Pillersdorf is the lawyer who represented Sabrina Adkins and Jennifer Hill in the lawsuit, the civil lawsuit against Ben and Mickey Steins, Ben Fields and Mickey Steins. Now, he has also recently jumped off his campaign. So he's going to be running for an elected office himself. He's running for congressman, I guess is what that office is. He's running against Hal Rogers. Hal Rogers, the money pal. Or no, that's not what I called it, was it? Shallow Hal, the money pal. Oh, yeah. So, he's got a really big campaign ahead of him running against Hal Rogers. Now, I guess we don't do party politics on this show, okay? So I don't want to get that started at all. So we won't talk about that. But I guess he will be running against him. So one's on one side and the other one's on the other. I guess that's the best way to say it. See you later. There you go. Don't like neither of them. Well, you know, I hired Ned myself again because against that bunch down there in Whitesburg. And he was not nice to me. He was very rude. He was just not nice at all. It was like, what did you do? What did you do to piss him off? Who did you piss off? You pissed off the wrong person. They don't just do this. You've had to do something. And I was like, why did it have to be anything that I did? Like I did something to evoke this response from them, right? No, that is not right. If you challenge anybody, if you tell them they're doing a bad job, if you criticize their performance in their law enforcement role, you might as well get ready because it's coming. And they'll take it as far as it takes to teach you a lesson. Yep, it's always the victim's fault. Well, that just didn't sit well with me. I feel like it's always more like these lawyers are interviewing you as a client, for then they're going to choose you for you to pay them. How would you like to have that job, right? Like, it's ass backwards. Instead of us, the client, interviewing a lawyer, an attorney, because that's how it should be. You're the employer. They work for you, not the other way around. But that's the way that the roles have reversed here in this area. It's like these lawyers are interviewing you to see if they're going to even take your case. And then they're going to let you pay them. They're going to give you the pleasure of then giving them all your money. I mean, it's like, are you joking? Come on, man. I don't know. He'll probably win, to be honest with you. Everybody knows his name. Everybody knows his name, and it's not about who likes him and who don't. It's about, oh gosh. Sorry. Alan, I am on the show. Okay. Yes. Yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I love you. Bye-bye. Oh, it's so hot in here today. I forgot where I was even at. All right. Let's see. Let me go over here. Miss May. Citizens have the right to know what happened. A lot of stuff gets hush hush. That's right. That's exactly right. Everybody knows. Everybody around here knows most of this stuff. You know, I've said it 1,000 times. The game always stays the same. It is the players that change. He is rude. Yeah. Oh, that's what we was talking about. I was talking about Ned. So, you know, a lot of these lawyers in this area, the whole southeastern region of Kentucky, you know, they have practiced enough law in these counties. They all know, they've all heard the rumors too. Like, I am not convinced. I don't think you could ever convince me that these lawyers in surrounding counties did not know or had not heard of what has been going on here, because it's probably going on in their counties too. Truthfully, it's going on everywhere. And it's just in the fabric of our culture. It's just unreal. I kind of have. All right, so let's pull up the video. Now, this was our friends at R&M Productions. We have watched this video several times. We're going to watch it a little bit again today. It doesn't have any audio, so we're just going to kind of play it, let it play in the background. That's Mike Watts in the blue tie and the blue shirt. Now, Mike, actually, he was the very first one who did an interview. He was the very first interview that was done, I think, if I'm right, if I remember that correctly. It was on News Nation with Ashley Banfield, and he did just a really short interview, and he didn't say anything. He really did not say anything. And nobody else has spoken out. Nobody else. And so I figured he probably, he never did do it again. I don't know why, but Mike's a good guy. I like Mike Watts very much.
Dave's field communications are all over the place. Connect Team's team management app puts it all in one place. While Dave's on nonstop.
I don't know where that came from. Maybe I need to sign in. I might not be signed in on that one. Let's see. Nope, it's still up there. Okay. I saw Miss Caroline say she lost the channel. No. Now look at Mickey. This is just seems like a I would be curious to see what Mike says. Let me turn that off. There, I'm going to mute that little music there. I would be curious to see what Mike said, because it looked like he was down there for quite a little while, you know, smoking a cigarette and stuff. And I wonder if Mickey was talking all, you know, the same way that we see him after the shooting. I wonder if he was talking that same kind of stuff beforehand. Let's see. See you later, says the Courier Journal described Ned as abrasive but charming. Crystal, there's zero charm to that guy. Well, you know, I think that whenever this shooting happened, and it really brought out the Ben Fields civil suit with Mickey Steins, of course. And he got on camera. He went and did several interviews. I mean, he's a regular on Court TV now, pretty much. And then he jumped off this campaign. Whenever he got on TV, I think that at least I got the impression from the networks that were booking him, you know, like, oh man, great guy, great dude, great lawyer. I don't think they know one way or another. I don't think they know anything about him. But there you go. That's that automatic respect that people give somebody just because they can say they're a lawyer, somebody that can say they're a judge, somebody that say, you tell them that you're the sheriff, you're automatically going to get a like, see, there's Mickey and Michael. Now see, they didn't look like it didn't look to me like that interaction was a friendly one. I just saw a lot of Mickey's head. This right here. Okay. There you go. Now, the one in the pink shirt, that is Judge Mullins's brother-in-law. That is Matt Butler. Now, the one across the table from him is Angie Fields. You've got two girls sitting there. The one at the bottom of the screen is the Goodwill witness. She's the one that was working the jail reentry program from Goodwill. It has to be part of a grant project. I guarantee you. It's part of some kind of funding grant program. Guarantee you. But man, she sure was there a lot. Like, if she's working the jail reentry program, I mean, is that her job, is to hang out in the judge's chambers all day and then go to lunch with them? I mean, you've got Michael, the preacher man. You've got Tim Eisen, the other preacher man, and they're both rehab guys. So they all are coming and approaching people at their lowest low, their lowest time in life. They're in jail. They're, got criminal charges hanging over their heads. They're in active addiction. And hear a bunch of people come saying they're preachers, talking about God, which that's exactly what those people need, is God. But honey, wolves come in sheep's clothing. Okay, so I also found out recently, like last week, I don't think I'm wrong. Could be, but I don't think I am. If I am, somebody tell me. But I was told that Angie works for the Commonwealth's office. So that would mean she does work for Matt Butler, the one that's hollering about, protecting the kids and always wanting a pat on the back and just all that kind of stuff. Somebody sent me he just posted something. He just did a trial or something like a few days ago. And there he was posting another post saying, I hope you'll see me as a good dude now, y'all. I mean, it was just retarded. It was something, sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Forgive me, Lord. But it was just something that it was just stupid. Like, he's always wanting somebody to pat him on the back and tell him how good of a job he's doing. And nobody sees that they just, okay, so we're going to let Ben come in and spend his 6-month sentence. We're going to let Angie stay in the jail and run and be over him that whole 6 months that he's there. And then as soon as he finishes his 6-month sentence and he's out the door, we're going to give her a promotion and move her up to the courtroom. And she's going to work for the Commonwealth's attorney's office. And she's going to work for the district court. And she's going to work for the circuit court. Does she work for the circuit court? I don't know. I've not heard anything about the circuit court. But she's all over the district court. Do you think that somebody should have came out and said, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this has happened and we are just beside ourselves. Thank you, Crystal. That we are just beside ourselves and, we want to assure all the people of Letcher County that we will not stand for this kind of behavior. We will not put up with it. Why, hell no, they ain't nobody coming out because, we just see another one down there getting busted by his wife this week. Now, this person is affiliated with the courthouse. They're not a lawyer. They're not a judge. They're not in the courtrooms. But they are affiliated with that courthouse. And whenever it comes out, you'll see. It's not going to go swept underneath the rug completely. It will. But here's the thing. You got so many people doing it that it's like no big deal, No big deal. Shoot. Don't worry. I got you back, man. I got you back. How comfortable do you think that was? Thank you, Marnie. How comfortable do you guys think that was for Mickey? He just did the deposition 3 days before this video for a lawsuit that her husband has him jacked up in. Would that make you feel comfortable at all of working there so closely with her, knowing that this lawsuit was hanging over your all's heads? Would you feel comfortable around that? He has these pew on his hip right there. And that's at 12:07. Now, one of the witnesses said that he did not have it earlier that day. Now, one of the analysts on one of the shows, he said that he could have went and got it just now at this point in time, but we saw it on his hip right there before he walked out. So that's a non-starter. That kicks that out the window. I don't know why. I guess I'm not signed in, you guys. Sorry. No big deal. We'll let them get their thing. And here they come. I mean, you got a whole... And all these women, these witnesses, all these women said these guys were their best friends. That's very odd. It's very strange. So I spoke to one of how should I say this? I spoke to a victim. And one of the victims told me that one of the hardest parts for them was realizing that they were not their friend. That was the hardest thing for them. They thought that these people were their friends. Sorry, y'all. Kids came home and the dogs went nuts. That's a good idea, Miss Paula. Start a new dictionary called Safe Words for YouTube. That'd be a good video. That's what we should do. Everybody will watch that, won't they? If you sound hick enough like me, they think you're one of them. Amen, Bluebird. You shall know them by their fruits. Yep. I love this video. I think R&M did such a fantastic job. They put this video all in chronological order. All of their edits are on point. I am so thankful. And they are very gracious to let us use their video. So if anybody has not yet, make sure you go over to R&M Productions and subscribe to their channel. They really, really do a good job on these. And then now this is where they're coming back from lunch. Oh, yeah. I was wanting to talk about... Now, here's my problem with the lawsuit, okay? I'm no lawyer. I'm not trained as a lawyer, but I am a true crimer. I do have a degree in criminal justice, so I know a little something, right? Well, I have a problem with the fact, and those of you who didn't know what that little yellow thing is, there you go. It's a little kid's tractor thing that you dig sand or something like that. There was for a long time, nobody knew what that was, and it was driving people crazy. I forgot where I was going with that. Sorry, y'all. I've got so much going through my mind at one time. It kindly gets lost. But I always think of it later. Oh, I was talking about the rehab. So, and the lawsuits. I think that these videos show us that they had made an environment like a hangout spot. Like this all was more like a hangout, you know? Like, why do you need 2 preachers? Why do you need 2 rehabs people there? Why do you need a jail reentry girl that sits there every day, all day, and goes to lunch? I want to know who is picking up the tab for all these lunches. We saw Judge Mullins stop by the bank. That's the bank that he went into before they all went down to Streetside. And Streetside has got really, really, really great food. They've really got good food down there. I'm a fan. I am a fan of whoever is the cook at Streetside Bar and Grill. Man, A+. You all are amazing. I'm a big time fan. Anyway, but it's expensive. It's worth it, but it's expensive. So who's picking up the tab on when you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? Okay, so and then there was 2 more. So you might as well say 10 people. Who picked up that tab? I've had people tell me that lawyers say that they would go to have a case in that courthouse, and they would never in a million years would they have went back in that smoking room or brought their lunch, to sit in there in the smoking room with everybody. Like, never in a million years would they have ever done that, they said. So they really created an environment of like hangout. They created the environment that all this stuff could happen in. I have a problem that they did not name Judge Mullins in his official capacity, just for the simple fact that it was his chambers that this supposedly happened in with Ben Fields. I have a problem that they did not name Angie Fields. I have a problem that they did not name the jailer, Bert Sloan. I have a problem that they did not name the jail because Angie took most of the house arrest payments. It was written in their process stuff whenever somebody was released on house arrest, they were instructed to go to the jail to pay their payments. And most of the receipts that we see in the discovery from Ben's case, his trial or whatever, Angie Fields' name, it's her signature on the majority of those receipts, even though she was not technically, she wasn't an employee of this company. So I think that there's an argument that they should have been named in this civil lawsuit. And, maybe even more people, but especially them. I have a problem that our fiscal court had a fund specifically in our audit, in our statewide annual audit. I found a fund that our fiscal court had for people who could not afford to pay their ankle monitors, who were given house arrest. All they had to do was apply for that. And nobody ever told them that. So, no, we're going to tell you, you can do smexual favors for Ben. Nobody told these women that our fiscal court had a fund set aside just for people who couldn't afford their ankle monitors. Like, am I the only one that shocks the crap out of? Blows me away. Absolutely blows me away. Let's see. What are you all saying here? What are you all saying? Local name, Bonaire, Tennessee. Mountain. I think I got a little lost on that one. Yes, it's almost back to school. Yeah, there we go. Merch idea. I'm no lawyer, but love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Letcher County Schools goes back on the 14th. Ugh. That's awful. Let me bring that back up. Let's see. Okay. Looks like pieces are missing from the videos. Maybe, I don't know, they've edited it edited it together. But I don't think, if anything is missing, I'm pretty sure she's probably put everything in these. If anything is missing, it probably would have come from whoever released it. Now, you see the blue signs that are in the floor there up against his desk? Those are the campaign signs for Matt Butler, who we saw in the pink shirt. Those were his campaign signs. See, at this time, he was just a defense attorney. He was not a prosecutor at that time. Edison Banks had not passed away yet. Well, he was appointed before Edison passed away, though. But those signs, he was running for judge executive. He was running for the job over the fiscal court, which has absolutely nothing to do with criminal court. He's a defense attorney. He's a lawyer. So why would a lawyer run for the judge executive job? Why? Because it has a $100,000 annual salary. So yeah, anybody that's not aware, our judge executive makes about $100,000 a year. Yeah. So why do you think these people don't want to let go of these positions? Here we go. This part always just gets me, man. He's trying to talk his way out of it. He thinks he can. Or at least I think he thinks he can. You know, when I first watched that, see, there's the lady in the green dress. That's who the preacher man about runs over. What you got? I might have even had one of them witnesses the wrong one. I think I thought that was the other lady. Now, see that hallway there? That's the courtroom. All right, all right, all right. So anybody that I tried to tell one of the producers of Court TV, because they keep showing that circuit court sign, and they keep showing the courtroom with the judge's bench and all of that. Well, that's the wrong courtroom. They keep showing Judge Kraft's courtroom. They keep showing the front of the circuit court door. And that's not Judge Mullins's. That's Judge Kraft's upstairs. This, come here, what do you got? This is Judge Mullins's courtroom. Now, these tables that they've got in there, see, they've made all of this. They've set all of this up whenever they started bringing all these rehab people and stuff. So, like, around COVID time, right before COVID hit, you had the preacher and you had a girl. There was a woman who was running a different program, and I think Judge Mullins actually went and asked her personally to come run his program. And so she came and did the outpatient enrollments and resources for defendants, and he had the preacher in there to do inpatient enrollments and stuff. So whenever somebody had court and they would come in and go in front of him, you know, depending on what services they needed and depending on what their charges were, I guess, they could go to either side. You could either go, you know, if you needed outpatient, then you would go see the girl that did outpatient. If you needed inpatient, you would go see the person that did inpatient, which was Michael Clark, working for ARC. You know, every single one, like they were just, I feel like this became a numbers game of who they could recruit, who they could get into their system, you know, and then once they get you in the system, then you're theirs, because you went one of many ways. You would either go into house arrest under Ben Field's supervision, or you would go to the rehab under the preacher's supervision, or you'd go to drug court upstairs under Ben's sister's supervision. I mean, there was nowhere to go where you were not under their thumb in some way, shape, or form, and they had complete freaking control of you, because once you go into drug court, you immediately lose your lawyer. You immediately lose your right to a lawyer. You agree to go underneath their rules and to follow their rules. So, you know, like my girlfriend, she had a sentence. Her sentence was 2 years in drug court. They kept her in there for 4 years, and she never once had a bad drug test. She passed all of them. You know what they didn't like? They didn't like her mouth. She said they didn't like things that I said, or, you know, they might see me with somebody and we're not supposed to be hanging out together, or something, you know, something silly, some kind of infraction. But it wasn't a dirty drug test, right? It seems more like that was a power or control thing than it was a punishment, you know. So what did they do? They would put her back at the beginning of drug court. So say she had 6 months or a year of drug court in, Well, they got mad at her, sanctioned her, and put her back all the way at the beginning of the program. And so is that even legal? Like, you can do that? You can keep somebody into drug court indefinitely? Who said that? Like, who set that up? That sounds fair. I don't think that sounds very fair, you know? So if you get a whole dirty bunch like we seem to have here, they're just, what? You're at their mercy if they like you or not? Because I could tell you, I could piss them off every damn day. They'd keep me in jail. And that's not right. It should not be a never-ending cycle and you know, a never-ending system that people can't ever break free from, because you know what happens? They end up catching more charges. It's not enough that they get punished for the charges that they've already gotten. Once you get in that system, then they just keep adding the charges and adding the charges, because they're going to find you. They're going to say they found you with possession, or, you know, they're going to give you a drug test. They're going to charge you for that. I mean, you know, they're going to end up charging you with more stuff. It's just the way that it goes. Once they've got your number, they're going to search you every time they see you. They're going to pull you over every chance they can. They're going to be watching. You know, they're going to be looking to see if you come to a complete stop at that stop sign. And if they see you roll through it, you better be prepared for the red and blue lights, because they coming. Oh, yeah, they coming. Let's see. Oh. So everybody's running. Huh. Troy says in every video. See, now that is Angie. So that's Angie. Okay, so let's look at this video right here. I'm going to take this down. Now this door, the brown door, the one right under the clock here on the right-hand side of the screen, that is the door that everybody goes through when you go to court. So if you're going to district court and you got to go in Judge Mullins's courtroom, you walk through that door right there. There's another door right outside of that we can't see. It's outside of the frame of the camera that leads to the hallway. And then once you walk in that door, this kind of opens up and you've got the hallway and you've got the courtroom right there. So when you open that door, you go into Judge Mullins's courtroom. Now, on the left-hand side of the screen, off the video, those are offices. It's like the juvenile justice office and maybe even like probation, stuff like that. You've got a couple offices there. I'm not sure who is in what and what all they do, but that's basically what it is. Now you go through this doorway, this open door, that takes you into the judge's chambers. Now this room right here that's open, it used to be Rachel's office, the assistant that he used to have, and he had her for years. I went to school with her in Cumberland long time ago. I also went to school with Terrence Eisen, who used to be pretrial. Both of them are gone now. Both of them, I think, went out on medical leaves for whatever medical problems that they had. I know that Rachel didn't come back, and she was gone for a long time. And I think, like, right after she left and was on medical leave, I heard whispers about, like, people were asking if he was going to get another one, and he wouldn't. He just wouldn't never get another assistant. So he did not have anybody else after Rachel. After Rachel left, I don't know of anybody else that Kevin hired as a secretary or an assistant. If I have that wrong, somebody please tell me, because it makes me wonder, did he start using Angie for that role? Like, did he? I don't know. She's there all the time. It's just very strange. All of this is just so strange. But you see, and you see her foot there at the bottom. So when she goes in that room right there, I thought that was her running in to see Judge Mullins. I thought that that's where that room went, but we never see her come in that room from the other camera. So it makes me wonder, is there another room there? I know that there's a bathroom, and so I'm wondering, that room that's got the quilt that everybody is saying is his chambers, I'm wondering if there is not another room in there somewhere. And I would love to see a layout, because they say there's another bathroom back there too. And I'm not quite sure. They said that there's a bathroom in, if I'm not mistaken, it's supposedly in Judge Mullins's office. I'm wanting to see. I'm just wanting to see. Does anybody know? Anybody that's watching our show, if you know if there's another room back there, does Judge Mullins, or did Judge Mullins have another room that had, like, maybe a better desk in it, maybe a better chair? Like, if I was a judge and I had my own office, I think I would probably have, like, I'd have it decked out. I would have me a little cot in there where if I needed to lay down and take me a snooze, or a couch or something, I think my office, it's the place that you spend more time, your second home. It just, that room doesn't seem like much of a chambers for a judge, does it? It just doesn't seem very comfortable. It doesn't seem like it's professional as a judge. Somebody that's supposedly like the golden boy of the state of Kentucky, and that is how his chambers is furnished. It just seems a little odd, doesn't it? Is that the kind of furnishings that you guys would have thought? I don't know. Am I silly for thinking that? Lisa Smith. Pagosa Springs man suspected of throwing Molotov cocktail in the courthouse. I think we're going to start seeing a whole lot of really crazy stuff. I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. I think the devil's raging, y'all. He is raging. God, I pray that you just protect us, Lord. I plead the blood of Jesus over every single one of us. Hallelujah, hallelujah. COVID's going around again really bad, and it's a bad strain this time. It's they call it razor throat. got a really bad sore throat. Mommy's been down for over a week, and she's still testing positive a week later. So this must be a really strong strain. The FBI should be investigating this awful process for people with rug problems. Their process seems backward and against the law. That's exactly what I thought, too. You know, and like I said, they keep them in the system, and there she is. There she is. Okay, so I missed that video. All right. So she goes in there. She comes through this little hallway, and I guess that would just be a hallway. And I'm trying to see what that is. It looks like a desk. It almost looks like it's a square, you know, like she ran down one hallway, and then she goes this way, and then she went down this way. So it kind of seems like it's a square. And where did she go? Don't let her out. Where did she go when she rounded that corner? Does it show us? Nope. And see, there's a hallway right there. And then on the other side of that is the smoking room. Now, one of these would be the jury room. They have to have a jury room. Would that be the one with the big long table that they're using as their smoking room? I don't know. I don't think so, because everybody goes to the door in the hallway and they stand outside of it. And they've done this for years now. Anytime you wanted to see Judge Mullins after they started smoking in the courthouse, when they first started smoking in the courthouse, they started in Bert Sloan's office downstairs in the jail. And before Bert became jailer, the judges would smoke outside on the sidewalk. When Bert became jailer, they all started smoking in the jailer's office in the basement. I went down there one day, and it was like Cheech and Chong, buddy. As soon as they opened the door, it was just smoke. Billows and billows and billows of smoke everywhere. But then they moved the smoking upstairs. I don't know why. Maybe because Judge Mullins was always in the basement. So maybe they moved it upstairs so he could get more work done. And there you see, they never do offer him any first aid. So anybody that was talking about the rescue squad, that was the preacher. Like, this guy was court security, and he didn't do nothing. Like, there wasn't nobody gave Judge Mullins any aid. Here we come. Here's preacher man. See the lady in the green dress? Here she comes. Look. And there's Michael, buddy. He didn't miss a step. And look, there's still nobody pressing on his wounds. Nobody's putting pressure on the bleeding. I mean, people can say all day long, you know a dead man when you see him. He wasn't shot in the head. They were all body shots. But even then, I would like to think, I know I'm Monday morning quarterbacking, but I would like to think that I would have just fallen on the ground and started trying to triage his wounds, And I mean, even if he hated my guts, I would still be, putting pressure on a bullet hole. I mean, even if there was no chance of survival, wouldn't you try? Like, try. Here we come. Man, she did such a great job. Y'all did so good on this. I love it. And here he comes. I'm sure he was in total shock. Look, it looked like he grabbed Eddie's weapon there. Now you're going to see the preacher man come walking back up his sidewalk. And they're going to meet kind of across the street from each other. And look, all those people are looking at Mickey. They're all staring at him. I don't know why, but... And then here he comes. And look, all those people are still standing in the front of the courthouse. They don't know who did the shooting. They have no idea. They don't know. And nobody's telling any of them people to get down. Nobody's telling them to go away. Nobody's telling them nothing. Look, there's Michael right there. There's Michael. And see, he's talking to Mickey. He's talking to Mickey. Oh, I didn't notice that before. I missed that part of video, y'all. I missed that before. That's why I like to watch these things 100 times. That looked to me like they spoke. What about you guys? Do you all think it looked like they were talking? It did to me. It's a theory. Look, I mean, look how much they were there together. How much time they were across the street from each other. That first time, whenever this video was first released, we didn't see that. We didn't see that. Come here. But we didn't see all that because it was kind of you know, somebody had edited it together, and so we only saw what they edited. Let's see. This would be the
judge.
Yes,
What's his name?
Kevin Moan.
Go ahead.
What do you got?
Shots fired at the Letcher County Courthouse and somebody shot Judge Mullins.
You're again.
No, sir. Just come out on radio. Well, I told him.
why? I mean, listen, I'm bad to laugh inappropriately. I am. I just don't know if I'd be going, I don't mean to be too critical. It's just not good. It doesn't look good. It just don't look good. It don't sound good. It makes me feel like this was almost expected in some ways.
Put them in separate rooms so they don't talk to each other, too.
Yeah. Have you got the witnesses?
No, they're doing the witnesses.
Who's doing the witnesses?
Justin and a couple other people are blocking the witnesses and down through there.
And the work of securing the crime scene began.
Now, there we go. You've got Jamie Hatton right there in the white shirt and the black pants. He's the county attorney. And then there's Mike Watts, our circuit court clerk, in the blue and the tan pants. Mike's good, people.
I think he's getting that other one.
It's awful loud. And this boy here, not the redhead there. That redheaded guy there was so rude and I mean, he was just, I don't care for him. I don't know who he is. I couldn't tell you his name, but I know how he treated us when we were down there. And I know how he treated the cameraman that Butler's ex-wife put her hands on. I know how he spoke to all of us. I ain't got nothing for him. The guy standing back there with the skinny legs and the blue jeans. Now that little boy worked for Mickey under the sheriff's department. He is the one who pulled over Edison Banks's home health aide that had all those rugs. She had the F word, she had the H word, she had Mary Jane, she had everything that you could think of. She was loaded down with it in the prosecutor's vehicle. She also had a spot made in the console of his vehicle that all of these rugs were hidden in. So allegedly, at least it was in the newspaper and in the citation. We've also got all of those records. He's the one who called. I'm thinking that he called Mickey and said, "Hey, Mickey, I just found Taylor, whatever her name is, coming out of Walmart, and she's getting into the passenger side vehicle of the vehicle now." He put in his report that he watched her climb into the passenger side of the vehicle. Do you know whenever he pulled her or pulled him over, they did not ask the driver for a driver's license. They never even identified the driver of Edison Banks's Tahoe. The prosecutor for Letcher County, the Commonwealth attorney, whose girlfriend is making hidden spots in the console of his officially tagged vehicle. I mean, are you joking me? Well, anyway, this is the little boy who pulled her over and arrested her. She immediately was released, and she never had to face any consequences whatsoever. They ended up sending it all to a lady prosecutor in Bell County, and Lisa Fugit, I think was what her name was, and she ended up, at the end, she put in a joint motion with Daniel Dodson. Oh yeah, Daniel, oh Big DD was representing her, of course. But this prosecutor put in a joint motion for a dismissal, to dismiss the case completely. No, they weren't working together. No. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter if people here in this county do recuse and they send it to another county. They do what this county tells them to do. They're not going to go slam it to somebody. They're going to ask the people who recused what they want them to do. Can't tell me they don't. And if they don't ask, they find out some way. They find out some way what the powers that be want them to do with that case. And they do it. Why else would Lisa Fugit put in a joint motion for dismissal on a case where they had fentanyl, heroin, Mary Jane, hypodermics all over the place? I mean, this was a huge bust, really. the amount of everything that she had combined. She even had little $5 bills, LSD. Like, who even does LSD anymore? I haven't heard of acid, and I couldn't tell you how long. Like, I'm almost 50. I remember people had like red gel stuff back when I was like 18, maybe. You heard of people? Gel tab, I think is what they called it. But I only saw it a few times when I was young. I've not seen a lot of that stuff here, but I'm not all up in the kingpins places either. So kind of changed my social scene over the last 15 years. Thank God. But that guy's a jerk. Or he was that night, anyway. That one. Get the hell out of here. What are you doing here?
That it is, brother.
Transporting a vehicle.
Probably not to put you in Letcher County Jail. I mean,
Why?
just probably because I don't know though. I don't know if that's
I don't
happening.
mind to be down there.
You don't mind to be down there?
They'll put me in a
Well, I mean,
cell.
we'll talk about that. You know, I have to talk to see what the logistics is down there.
When I gotta get put in a vehicle and go outside.
Well, yeah, I understand why you're worried, but at the same time, you know how it is for something like this. We're going to be worried about you in the jail down here with local people. You
Right
know?
now, I'm alive and well, no weapons on me. So if I leave this building, I won't draw another breath.
What's really going on in the mountains?
We're going to
Go where?
in one of these rooms, and we're going to talk real fast.
Oh yeah, not in one of these right here.
I don't know. I think they cleared one out. So
You feel safe doing that?
why? I ain't gonna let nothing happen. Okay, I ain't gonna let nothing happen to you. So don't worry about that.
Now, look at that look on his face. At first, I thought he was looking at Trotter as Trotter was talking to him. But I don't think he's even looking at Trotter. It kind of looks like he's looking up. Looking up. And then we're going to see whoever that is walk in front of him, and he just does this. He's like, I ain't never seen him. I ain't never seen nobody react the way that he's reacting.
I'll stick with you until you go to your cell. Okay, you'll be all right.
See?
I promise you.
Yeah, I know better than that.
What?
And who all is that? Who's that guy in the red shirt? Do we know? Let me take this off there. Who was that just walked by?
I'll stick with you until you go to your cell. Okay, you'll be all right. I promise you.
Let's see.
What?
See, that's all the fire department and EMT people down there at the bottom of that hallway. Why in the world did they have them? Now I understand from what I understand, the EMTs had to stay there on scene until they were released by the coroner, is what I was told. So even if they had to remain there and for the coroner to release them, I don't think that they needed to be hanging out in the hallway where they could see him. I mean, I don't know. I just would not have expected a lot of the ways that they handled this.
Nikki, we just talked about we known each other forever. I ain't gonna let nobody hurt you. Would you talk?
I mean, even Trotter's kind of giggling there. I mean, I'm sure it was at the absurdity he felt, I'm sure it was probably at the absurdity of the situation, like Mickey thinking that Trotter's gonna hurt him. I'm sure that to Trotter that would be absurd, like, what are you on? You know better than that,
Talk right here. If we pulled up some chairs, we'll just talk low. We're just trying to let everybody hear stuff and see everything.
I don't care if everybody hears. I just don't feel safe.
Okay. Well, here you should feel safe. There's cameras here. There's people everywhere. People in there. So if we pull up some chairs right here, would you talk to us right here?
And I don't have a problem with transport stuff.
Well, that's transport is another issue. We'll make sure you're safe on that too. We'll wait till after we get done talking.
Still looking for a new job?
Just found out my dad's sister's husband.
I ain't trying to be difficult, guys, but I don't feel safe.
So we got to know what led to this, Mickey. What transpired leading up to this? Because I know it just didn't happen for no reason. Something's happened. Everything has a reason why it happened and why somebody acts the way they do.
Just be fair to me.
We'll be fair to you.
Just don't beat on me.
I ain't gonna beat on you. Nobody else is gonna beat on you. You know that.
Don't shoot me. Somebody don't want to kill me, man.
Nobody's gonna shoot you. Nobody's gonna kill you.
Don't do that.
It makes me wonder, were there ever times that, now remember, we're talking about before Mullins was shot. Before the shooting happened, Mullins was the golden boy. He ran this county. He was like he was the top brass of Letcher County, really. I mean, you've got Judge Kraft too. Now, Judge Kraft's daddy ran this place for decades, and Judge Kraft ended up being a lawyer. So he came in, he was also a defense attorney and got his roots wet right here in Letcher County, So he's dug in big time, Judge Kraft is, generationally. But Kevin Mullins was the one who had gained all of this attention, and he was the one who was trailblazing this Senate 90 bill, this rehab, giving people a second chance whenever they get arrested for a drug-related crime. They are trying to get them treatment instead of trying to jail the problem. But in my opinion, they went from one extreme all the way to the other extreme. They tried to milk every single penny that they could out of the Medicaid, out of the funding, any kind of federal funding, any kind of grant programs. There's just not real great oversight with that stuff. So once people get the funding, once people are get their applications approved and all that, and that money starts to flow, you don't really have a whole lot of people who are watching over all of that and making sure that it's all going where it needs to go. Because there's no great oversight system to be able to track a lot of that stuff, you end up with waste, fraud, and abuse. Now, we're also going to talk about why. You see how narrow that hallway is right there?
So
we've already heard all of this crap, so I'm just going to mute it. But you see how wide that hallway is? It's not very wide at all, right? The doors are just right here on this end of the chairs there. Well, now, after the shooting happened, they put in a metal detector. Okay, they put the metal detector in, and then they hired a whole bunch of more court security to run the door. Now, one of our magistrates put on Facebook yesterday or the other day that they had 4 people, 4, at the little, and it's just a little tiny metal detector, y'all. Like, you would laugh. It looks like something that would be in a middle school. It's just big enough for one person. It's real tiny. Like, you can walk right past it if you wanted to. But it's just like a little doorway, and you put your stuff up there and you walk through it. It's very, very, very small. It's not built for a lot of people and, a big place. It's very small. I'm like it's almost laughable. It's that small. For real. Anyway, the magistrate said that there were 4 people working the door at the courthouse. Let me see. I want to read it word for word. I noticed today there were 4 people working the metal detector today at the courthouse. Well, most were playing on their phones. But anyway, why do we need 4? And why does most just walk on by, not even go through it? I saw several today. I am a magistrate. They check and scan me every time. Yet some just walk right on through. Could someone clarify this for me? Now, this is coming from one of our magistrates, okay, on the fiscal court. I mean, if we're going to check people, let's check everyone, because it won't be an outsider who done the horrible deal, or it wasn't an outsider who done the horrible deal that happened. And then let's look at a few comments while we're watching this. We've done listened to it 1,000 times, y'all. It's more watching now and seeing what we missed on like facial, which we're no body language experts either, but we're people, and we're people of age. I'm a person of age. I love it. I forgot what I was even going to say about it. All right. Waste of time and money. It's real secure. Can I wink? I might can wink. I'll try. We know having security there would not have prevented what happened. Agree 100%. Just a waste of taxpayer money. Listen, there's so much waste, fraud, and abuse And so much of it could just be completely eliminated very easily. Very easily. The people that keep all this crap going, they keep it going because they're benefiting from it some way, shape, or form. They have to be. They have to be. Every single person that was in that court, that judge's chambers before Judge Mullins was shot, like the preachers, they benefit personally. They get paid. That's their job. So they're benefiting personally. How many people who worked with ARC got a new vehicle given to them as written into their salary packages? Like, nobody around here even knew what a salary package was. People, those kinds of benefits and stuff and that kind of talk, you didn't see that. People don't know that around here. People don't know about nothing like a salary package. Like, because nobody gets that stuff around here. I wouldn't know what it was if I wasn't smart. That's what I've been saying. More deputies could be out on the roads and in the community helping people. I hear the sheriff's office closes now. Well, and they were in there talking. I was watching one when Bert Sloan was the jailer, and he was talking about how they couldn't afford a stove. They couldn't afford a stove. Somebody up here on the fiscal court told him that they had several at the old senior citizen center. Whenever they closed the senior citizen center, they had 2 big ovens and stoves down there. So I'm pretty sure that they could have found one if they really wanted one. You know, they really could have found. With all this funding and all this money, how come the jail has not been redone? How come the ceiling is falling through in the Sally Port? Whenever they've dropped this video, do you know how many people reached out to me and was like, why in the world are there holes in the ceiling of the Sally Port? Like, there's just, and I've been in the Letcher County Jail. It's awful. Like, it's absolutely disgusting. And people who have open wounds or people who have had some kind of a medical procedure and they have any kind of stitches or anything like that, God help them if they go in that jail. God help them all. All right, they have been closing in the evenings for quite a while now. It's been, we desperately need some new road deputies on evenings. It's almost been a year. And everybody says they agree. Words of truth. And the ones that are there doesn't have a clue what they are doing. So that was in response to the ones that were there. Now that's a lot. That's what Mommy said too. She said she went down there for something at the courthouse and that they pulled all her stuff out of her purse. And that she said, I have never in my life had anybody open my change purse. She said, whoever that kid was down there took everything out of my 80-year-old mother's purse, put it all out on the thing, and went through it all. And then she had a little change purse. You know, little old women carry their money in a little change purse. A lot of them do. They used to all the time. Well, it really offended her. Like, it really offended her that guy went into her change purse. You know? So no, they don't know what they're doing. They've hired kids right out of school. Every one of them looks like they're about 14 years old. Says, I set it off with my boot hooks and they just took my word for it. And it won't change till more call Frankfurt, as I was advised to do. So maybe more complaints. They might listen. I watched several walk by and not be scanned. If you are not going to scan everyone, then don't scan anyone. Dum da dum dum. I said efficiency got lost somewhere along the way. Same thing when I go there too. That should tell you something. I don't think that thing works anyway. Could be very wrong though. I have an implant or hearing in my head that sets off every one I've ever walked through except that one. That's hilarious. I probably don't work. I could be wrong, but that one just better and knows. It's useless, especially if you have a child or children with you, and them checking your purse and kids going wild. Meanwhile, the 4 workers are on their phones tee-heeing and ha-hawing. The public is not the one who brought the weapon in there, but we are paying the price for it. You got that right, honey. Why are they even a metal detector there? No one from the outside shot nobody or harmed nobody. The public didn't do it. So why all of a sudden there are metal detectors and policemen at the courthouse door? We need more people like you that ain't scared to speak their mind. That's right. I wondered. Same thing. I made a post about this a while back. Everyone should have to go through it, even the workers and officers. Say it loud. Great post. Makes no sense. People definitely need them out patrolling what they can. But, if I don't know. What do you all say? I'm about thought out today. I'm about out. Scanner broke. It was a Temu purchase. It looks about like one. Someone said a line of cockroaches. Asked the jailer what cell Mickey was in. Jack Biscuit. Says they hit me in the head too many times. I got stuck this way. Oh, I've been in public libraries where you have metal detectors to walk through. Yeah. Oh, it's so small. I mean, it looks like it's about to break. It's like really, really thin. It's not much of a metal detector. But, if it looks good, if it looks good, y'all.
Make sure there ain't no weapons or nothing now. There ain't nothing in that, bro. Yeah. Come on now. Right here, open up the back hatch.
Got a big problem, y'all. And it's so interwoven.
No, now come on. Y'all gonna leave me in here and let me die? No, I can't get up in there. Come on now. I'm over there, bro. I'll bite you in there. can't. Yeah, man, I can't get in. These cuffs are way too tight. Come on now, guys. Come on now.
Pick your leg up, my brother.
Y'all got carbon monoxide in here. Come on now. Come on. I can't sit like this. I can't. Come on now. Be fair to me.
We're being good to you, brother. You stick your leg up in there.
Come on now, guys. Please don't do this to me. Please don't do this to me. Please.
You want to scoot on over a little bit to the left?
Come on now.
Try to scoot on over a little bit more. That way we don't hit you. Can you go any bit farther? I just want to hit you with the door. Put your knee in there, my friend.
Hey, Jason. Hey, Bates. Hey, Bates. Can we loosen this up a little or give the window down?
I'm sorry.
Can we loosen this up a little? Be fair to me, man.
I got some air. I'll crack the window for you, but I can turn the air on back here. Okay?
Yeah. Be fair to me now.
I promise, Mickey. I promise.
God, please.
I promise. I'll tell you.
It's hot back here, man. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Come on now, guys. Make sure I get to the jail. Come on now, guys.
I was asking why you done it. Was it over your family?
Come on now, guys. What are you doing?
I'm just talking to you. I'm just asking, was it something to do with your family or anything like that?
Sorry, I forgot to unmute. I remembered though. I think that if you guys want to go watch this, I'm going to go ahead and end this one here because the rest of this is just the ride and we've seen it 100 times. There isn't really anything new comes. They keep asking him about the family. He never answers. They get to the jail and you don't see anything on that either, on that side of it either. But, you know, I think that I'm starting to see it kind of from a different, I just don't think Mickey was innocent. I think at the beginning, most of us, this was just such a horrendous crime. Nobody could even imagine our sheriff going in and doing what he did to our judge. Two people that were in our community, that are part of our community. Their families are part of our community. We could not, you know, see this, the reason, like what reason would cause such a, you know, a well-known law enforcement officer to do this, to act out this way. And, you know, most people were ready to just jump behind him. And if he did this, there had to be a good reason. There just has to be a reason for it. And, you know, if he did this, then he did so because the judge deserved it, I guess is the best way to say it. That's what it seems like. But I don't think that that's exactly the way that it's going to end up. I think that the way that this is going to end up is that we are going to see a whole lot of bad. I think you're going to end up seeing a whole lot of people. I don't know if there is any way to even pull the people out of their positions, the only way that that's going to happen is through votes, through election time. You got to just vote these people out of these political offices. You know, if they're, listen, if they were married to their first wife 30 years ago and they ended up cheating with a real young, pretty little thing that was working with them or something, doesn't matter whether he met her in church, whether he met her at work. And then you divorced your first wife for this one that you cheated with, and then you married her. And then after you married to that one for 10 or 15 years, then you hook up with your secretary. Another young, pretty little thing. I mean, you know, this is a larger conversation. You know, if you go down and get you a job at City Hall and you're 20 years old working at City Hall, and the next thing you know, you're sleeping with a married man who's 75 and you're 20, and he's married and he's been married for the last 50 years. Yeah, you might not want to do that, but if you do, what do you think happens? Go to a UK basketball game and get on camera. You know, at the UK basketball game, they show the camera around and they show the audience. Well, I reckon everybody back home saw the mayor with the City Hall employee. Next thing you know, he's getting divorced and he's marrying a 20-year-old. He dies and the city council makes her the new mayor. So you've got a mayor, which, listen, a lot of spouses usually, sometimes, well, I don't know about usually. Let me pull that, all that I just spewed out my mouth right back. Sometimes when somebody passes away, their spouse is then given an honorary position, like to fill out their term or something. I've seen that happen, and I've seen where they actually ended up doing really good job, you know, and maybe this mayor does a really good job. Maybe she does, but let's not forget how she got there. Let's not forget that. You can't forget that, okay? You can't. And I would have to say that I would bet there's a whole lot of more qualified people that would have done, you know, that would have done a great job for that job. So, you got to own that stuff, you know. When we make mistakes and we do stuff, well, and that might not even be a mistake. I'm sure that probably wasn't. That was probably a great deal. Blessing. But I'm just saying, culture here is very old men with young girls. The younger, the better. The younger, the better. I mean, oh well. Anyway. All right, guys. Well, thank you, Jesus. Lord, we thank you for another day being able to come together in your house. We pray for your protection, Lord. We pray for your protection, Lord, however that comes. I plead the blood of Jesus over me and my children, my mother, everybody who's under the sound of my voice, Lord. I pray that you will just keep us safe. Keep your light at our feet so we don't lose our way. I pray that you just keep guiding us down the path that you want us to go. I pray that you put a watch over my mouth and don't let me say things that I shouldn't say, and give me the words that I need to be able to say what I do need to say. I pray for so many medical and health issues, Lord. So many of us are struggling with health issues, and so I just pray. I pray that you will touch each and every one of us according to our need. Give us strength. Give us your power, Lord. Give us your peace that passes all understanding, that no matter what storm we are in the middle of, Lord, you promised to take us through to the other side, and we just praise you, Lord. All of our faith is in you and what you did at the cross. I pray that you will forgive me for my sins, Lord. Don't let my foot slip. Keep me on the solid rock. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hide me in the cleft of the rock, Lord. In Jesus' name. Until we meet again, Lord, I give you all praise, honor, and glory. Go with us until we meet tomorrow. In Jesus' name. Amen. All right. Sometimes I get a little tongue-tied, but that'll be all right. All right, guys. You have a great rest of your night, and we will see you on the flip side tomorrow. Peace out, Girl Scout.